Good morning, black women. All right, so I wanted to talk to y'all about this whole Shannon Sharpe shit. The problem with black women thinking that that shit is okay and trying to say that it should have been a black woman instead of the 19-year-old that was instead of the 19-year-old that got. I don't know what is wrong with y'all. I think that a lot of y'all, with your desperation for worrying about black males instead of just discarding them the way that you should, because they constantly show you nothing but disrespect, right? You're getting blinded by the reality of the situation. This is an old fucking man in his 60s probably, right? Having sex with a teenager, a white teenager, because he worships and idolizes whiteness and wanting to be equivalent to a white man. That right there should let you know that he has all types of mental issues that black women should never be around. The same way y'all were upset with Megan Good talking about how stupid she was, that's the same way y'all should feel about this dude. This is a black male who feels inadequate in his blackness and the lack of manhood. So in order to try to make himself feel like he's worth something in his mind, he has to groom and prey on children, white children, because he feels like that's his way at getting back at white men who are doing nothing to him. Because if these dudes had any of the self-love and pride for their race and their people and the love of their black skin the way black women did, they would have already conquered the white man. You understand? So all of these dudes, you have to see them for who they are. They're all problematic. You have black males trying to socialize you into thinking that some old fucking man who's 60 something has the right and should legally be allowed to have sex with a 19-year-old girl. And I understand why y'all feel like this, because you're listening to messages of women like Shira, Seven, and others advocating the same insane behavior, and you're ignoring what happens to those women in those situations. And it is always them getting harmed by these old ass men and these young ones. Because black women, you got to come to grips with the fact that these black males do not like black women and girls. They have nothing but unadulterated hate for us. Do you understand that? That is the reason why on every live and every video, they never have anything positive, nice, or complimentary to say about black women. They never take accountability for the fact that they're out here raping children in communities, coming into people's homes, beating their children to death, sexually violating their daughters, their sons, beating black women until they can't beat them no more, increasing the black femicide stats. And y'all are out here trying to make excuses based off of white racism to justify that this dude is a fucking pedophile and that you know it's wrong. And then why you keep going on lives with these dudes, whether they be black males from all over the diaspora, talking shit about black women constantly, trying to get you to so-called fall in line with somebody who's just going to abuse you, who leads the conversation with, if your partner or husband cheats on you, that's not a reason to leave the relationship. Yes, it is. But that's the minimum of shit they do to black women in relationships. They batter black women. They take the lives of black women. They do the same thing to their little black girls, which is why there's over 200,000 black women and girls missing and killed by black males due to black femicide. And y'all are just refusing to accept that information and acknowledge just how dangerous and deadly these ignorant niggas are. And when I say that, I mean that with my whole chest, because they don't graduate high school, they don't go to college, and they try to teach the whole black community that education is worthless. Now, if that's not a nigga, what is? And a nigga is defined by a person who has a limited intellectual capacity. Tell me that's not what they are. But I need y'all as black women to stop caping for these black dudes and really just standing up and saying, fuck you to all the black women bashing. Fuck you to trying to substitute black women for abuse by black males. In the case of Shannon Sharpe and this white girl, white child, right? Because y'all are out here saying he should have picked a black girl. No, he shouldn't. He should never have picked a young black girl to beat up, choke up, and rape. Are y'all out of your fucking minds? Do you know that there's 99.9% of us who are black women and girls who have already been violated, abused, and all that shit from black males? And all of these real statistics that a lot of you have lived like I have, you still try to make believe like these motherfuckers are worth saving, worth having, worth talking to, worth dealing with. The day you let these motherfuckers go completely, don't give a fuck about them in any way, not wanting to be with them, talk to them, have children with them, deal with them, is the day the black community, so to speak, as y'all keep referring to, which doesn't exist, will actually start to thrive. Because you're not respecting or acknowledging the fact that these black males don't want change, baby. They want you to comply to being abused. This is what they're talking about. There's a live going on right now as I'm making this video with some dumb fucking Jamaican dude and all these other black dudes from all over the world, and American blacks, talking about how black women should comply literally with their abuse because it's the family structure that we're not paying attention to. Can I remind y'all that we have not had a family structure since they trafficked us to this fucking country? So please stop pretending like there ever actually was a family structure. There was forced relationships due to situations of convenience and law. There were miscegenation laws put into place where you had to be with another black person. Because going by the Supreme Court lawsuits that all these black males went and took out and won to fuck white women, that lets you know that not many of them literally wanted to be in those black homes. So stop pretending like they did. Stop giving me trouble and listen to what is actually happening in this culture we live in. They don't like you, but they need you to get their fucking shit off. They need you to jump off. They need you to get free sex, free labor, and to make children with them they can abuse and use and then walk out on. Neglect them, abandon them. And y'all just refuse to accept that shit. You know, it's crazy. While you constantly listening to them every day online talk about how black women only are the problem, when we're the only ones in the community working, going to school, making ends meet, taking care of the children, and keeping this bullshit neighborhood of black people together. Let them go. You're not missing anything. And if you want a fucking family so bad, there's so many other men out here that will accept you. You don't need one of them. They have no respect for you. No desire, no love, nothing but hate, bashing, dehumanizing, and destroying your character. Because they have nothing. Because they don't want nothing. The same way we rise above it all, they could do the same fucking thing if they wanted to. But they don't. They like to be in a situation where they can't help themselves. and then complain about it and try to act like if they do something, oh, the white man does it too. But you ain't white. You have not worked hard for his privileges. You have not worked hard to make yourself equivalent to him or to do anything the way he does it because you lazy. You lack vision. You lack ambition. You lack everything it takes to put you on top because you're afraid of that fucking white man. So what you do is you pay homage to that old adage, if you can't beat them, join them. But you haven't even tried to fight to win, to see if you could beat them. That's why y'all are losers. And black women, those of you that refuse to listen, you're going to suffer and you're going to fall with those black males as well. But the rest of us who see them for what they are, we're going to get away from all of y'all. And you have each other to commiserate with. But y'all need to wake up and leave them motherfuckers alone. Stop patronizing their channels. Stop participating in them dumbass lives where it's only black women bashing. And do something better in life. Literally. I don't understand why. How is it that hard? How is it hard to think about what you need to do and then just go ahead and do it in life? How is that difficult? You need to explain that to me. Okay? Because so far you haven't done that. You have not done that at all. All you have done, though, is made excuses for an individual collective, and I mean that, the individuals inside the collective, to continue hurting black women and little girls. Stop having conversations about these dudes. Start monitoring your little boys and your girls about what they're watching online with these idiots. Shut them down with the spreading of this incel, red pill rhetoric and black women hate and bashing. And let's start moving our children and ourselves away from these dudes permanently. The shit only changes with us. They clearly don't want change. They like the dysfunction. They thrive in it. So we're the ones that gotta say, I'm done with the bullshit. Please, let today be the day you decide you're done with the bullshit.